Well, hello there, my silly little gooses. Welcome back to another edition of the Midweek Breakdown, presented by My Two Cents Podcast and hosted by G2. I am G2. I would like to first start off by welcoming our first-time listeners and our returning listeners to this broadcast. I would like to tell the first-time listeners what the Midweek Breakdown consists of. This broadcast is when I, G2, talk about anything and everything that I want to talk about in the news. It could be stuff that's serious, stuff that's not so serious. It could be a variety of different topics. It could be one specific topic, which is the theme of that episode. And I do this for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. And always at the end of every midweek breakdown episode, I'll be playing you guys a song which is titled Your Song of the Week to end the episode off and send everybody about their day. So with that, that's the typical midweek breakdown assessment. Now, this week, I'm going to be talking about stuff that happened in nature. There's some natural disasters that happened. Some in the U.S., some across in Japan. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to talk about court cases that happened this week as we beginning the week. And then I'm going to end today's episode off with talking about something that happened at Comic-Con this past weekend. So without further ado, let me jump right into today's show. First thing, as I may mention, talk about natural disasters over in the U.S. On Monday, there was a tornado that hit Wisconsin. And I'm getting this from the Associated Press. There was a tornado that hit Wisconsin in a neighborhood that housed about 100,000 people in the cities of Appleton, Minnesota, and Neenah. And it left shambles, house leveled, cars flipped, and power lines and trees toppled. Now, here's the thing. No deaths have been reported from this tornado that happened on Monday, which I am happy to read and happy to let people know about that. In this article, it would say first responders search homes and buildings Tuesdays for possible victims of the tornado that ravaged several communities in Wisconsin. David Chu, a man that experienced this tornado when he was in the basement with his wife and son, will say that a tree smashed his roof and he still hasn't been able to locate an outdoor patio longer that was swept by the storm. But he said he's better off than a neighbor who a portion of her roof was ripped clean off with furniture and drywall sucked out. So, again, people lost some values. Some people lost some things in the tornado. Again, houses were leveled, cars flipped, the usual stuff when a tornado touches down in communities. But, as I said at the time of this report, right now, there has been no deaths reported, which I think that's kind of like the half glass full mentality there that I have for this. Yes, there was a not tragedy so much, but tragedy in the part of the pockets because people are going to be having to rebuild their homes once again. But I would rather rebuild a home than have to put someone in the ground. You get what I mean? So, great that nobody lost their lives in this, but I feel sorry for the people that have to now rebuild their homes and also find ways of transportation. So that's something that happened so far this week over in the United States portion of natural disasters, while over in Japan, there was an earthquake that happened. There was an earthquake that happened Tuesday. I'm reading this from Associated Press, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake that shook Japan's southern main island of Kyushu, leaving dozens of people injured or missing after part of a shopping center and a huge chimney at a paper factory collapsed, officials would say. Now, they would advise that there was a tsunami advisory, but the issue was quickly lifted, so there was no tsunami to come. The shopping center, there was an unknown number of people that was trapped there, according to a fire department. Japan's national television station NHK would say that the collapse came after an explosion believed to have been triggered by a gas leak at the building. 4 people were pulled out with injuries and taken to a hospital, while 10 others were unaccounted for. The emergency response team would say it is said that the extent of the damage are still being investigated as search and rescue efforts continue. Now, at the paper factory where the chimney collapsed, obviously the building was damaged. 11 people were trapped underneath the debris. The emergency team would say 2 of them would find people without vital signs. So, unfortunately, they passed away. While the conditions of the 9 others were unknown, the team would say. Fire and Disaster Management Agency have said that more than 260,000 people were advised to evacuate. So that's what happened in Japan. Again, this happened just Tuesday, so it recently just happened. So give your love thoughts to the people over there in Japan. I'm hoping that the people that they did find, the 9 others, because again, their conditions are unknown, at least at the time of me reporting this. I'm hoping that they at least have some type of smoke inhale or some type of debris inhale instead of them being dead. That's what I'm hoping for. That's probably the worst case scenario. Again, the death is the worst case scenario, but like other case scenarios, I'm hoping like get some type of inhale or some type of toxin or something like that they can get rid of. But I do want people just to live more than less. But that's what happened over there in Japan. And I looked it up a little bit. I was trying to figure out, does Japan have a earthquake season or anything of that nature? Because anytime you hear about Japan, you get any type of video or something that's always talking about earthquakes. And just doing a quick Google search, there is no season for earthquakes, but it would say that Japan receives about 1,500 earthquakes a year, roughly, which is nuts to me. But again, the people in Japan, they know this. They can kind of brace for it a little bit, I believe. But that's what's going down over there in Japan. As of right now, again, earthquake just happened, 7.1 magnitude. Give your love like condolences to people in Japan. Again, hoping that people will be found safe and probably with injuries, but hopefully no more deaths than just the 2 that have been reported. Now, those were the natural disasters that's happening. Well, it has happened so far in this week. While there is saying to be over here in the U.S., there's supposed to be like some wildfire smoke that's supposed to blanket parts of the U.S., more specifically like the northeast and the southern parts of the U.S. All this comes from like smoke that's coming from, I believe they said, Oregon. It has been said that there was 46 large uncontained fires burning in Oregon and Washington, along with smaller fires in that area, and had altogether burned more than 1.6 million acres of wildland. There were also more than 17 uncontrollable fires in British Columbia, just north of Washington. Now, on Tuesday morning, it has been said that the worst air quality in the country was near Idaho, so I'm hoping that the people in Idaho have some type of mask that they can cover their face. But it has been said throughout the rest of the week that smoke's supposed to be, again, moving from the Pacific Northwest over to the East Coast. So again, the Northeast and South. So please, whenever you're in these states, again, in the Northeast and in the South, look at your weather, look at the air. I know over in, if you have an iPhone, they show you like the air quality stuff. So look at that as well. And again, kids are supposed to be going back to school. I know in certain parts of the state, or some states, kids are going back to school. It's kind of trippy that they go to school just this early, but it is what it is with that. But I know certain kids are supposed to be going back to school right now. Look at the air quality to see if you got to send them with a mask. And even if they say you don't, I would still just say send them with one just in case if you're in those orange and yellow type of states that are going to be receiving the smoke. That's what I would say, again, to everybody over here in America. So that's everything that I want to cover, at least when it's talking about nature. So with that, moving off of that, now it's time for me to talk about court cases that's happened so far this week. And again, we're only on Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be more court cases to follow up. But as of right now, these are the ones that's happened so far. I want to give you an update on the court case that I made mention on Sunday. I talked about Colt Gray. He was the kid, or should I say teenager, that went to school a couple years ago in Georgia. He brought a gun. There was a school shooting there. Killed 2 students and 2 teachers. He entered a guilty plea last Friday, I believe, and he pled guilty to all 55 counts that were against him, including murder and aggravated assault. And from that Friday to Tuesday, there was victim impact statements that were read. And Tuesday, which just happened, Colt would find out his sentence. The judge in the case would tell Colt You wrote, "I want to make history. I want people to remember the pain I caused," and there you succeeded. The pain that you visited upon this community is unlikely to disappear in my lifetime. You do not seem to be tormented by what you did. You seem to relish following in the footsteps of murderers you idolize. You aren't wrecked with guilt. You're proud of yourself. Studied and obsessed over other mass shootings and was well aware of their outcomes in court. Life without prison. The slain will not return to life. The injured will not forget their wounds. And a 16-year-old will live and die in prison. So he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So Colt Gray will be spending the rest of his time on this earth in prison. And I think that was the only way this was going to happen. I think this was the only way it was going to end, because Friday the judge told him that you do know you're going to be sentenced, right? And there's only two outcomes of this: either sentenced with life with parole, or life without the possibility of parole. And Colt knew that. And so he's been hit with life without parole. So he's going to be living and breathing and ultimately meet his demise in prison. So that, I feel, is the right outcome for this. I'm hoping that, again, teenagers, since school is about to start, will learn from this, hopefully, because again, I don't want to read about and have to come up here and talk about school shootings that happen this upcoming school season, but only one can hope. So that's an update on a court case that I talked about Sunday. On to a new court case here. I did not know about this until, again, reading news here. There was a shooting that happened in Seattle this past weekend that happened at a food festival, and they arrested a 15-year-old. They're still saying that one more person is out there. They're going to try to look for that person, and the third shooter that was involved in this is deceased from this. And the 15-year-old, he was in front of a judge this past Monday, and I'm reading this all from what publication, because I want to make sure I get it right. What publication did this? Yahoo News. A judge would find probable cause to continue holding the 15-year-old arrested in connection to the shooting in secure detention. Authorities initially believed two people exchanged gunfire, according to a document filed in juvie court. Police say they believe there was at least three shooters: the 15-year-old, an acquaintance who died at the scene, and at least one other unknown suspect, according to Associated Press. The teen, who was arrested on suspicion of 3 counts of first-degree assault and 1 count of second-degree unlawful possession of a firearm, waived his right to appear in court Monday afternoon. The Seattle Times reported the teen's next court appearance will be an arraignment set for 9 a.m. Thursday. Now, the gunfire that happened at the Seattle Food Festival left 3 people dead, 4 others injured, including a toddler. So that 15-year-old, he's going to get something. I don't know what's going to happen to that 15-year-old, but I think he's going to get some type of situation. Again, he's already being faced with 3 counts of first-degree assault, 1 count of second-degree unlawful possession of a firearm. I think more charges might be tacked onto him. And the other unknown suspect that's still at large right now, I'm pretty sure the police are probably going to try to squeeze some information out of the 15-year-old to ask who that other person is. And if that 15-year-old happens to tell who that other person is, I'm pretty sure he'll probably at least get some favor, if you will, to try to decrease his charges. But again, we'll wait and see about that. But that's what happened so far, at least in court news for this case. Again, I did not know about this until, Sunday afternoon. And, yeah, love and light to everyone that lost their lives there. And again, this still makes me sad whenever people are out at a live, not just a live thing, but like at a community event that's supposed to bring people out and have people supposed to come out there and enjoy themselves and have their guard down. And stupid foolishness occurs. I'm never ever happy about this. I'm always pissed off about this. And yeah, I'm hoping that the 15-year-old gets hit with something harder. I'm hoping that more charges will come about. But again, if he happens to snitch, not just say snitch, but give out information about the other person, I have a feeling that this will probably be the only charges he'll be hit with. If not, I'm pretty sure they'll tack on more. So that's all we do know, at least right now, with this Seattle court case. On to another court case that just started, actually. Lindsay Clancy. This is a court case that I did not have any idea about. As a matter of fact, I don't even remember this happening, this situation. Lindsay Clancy is a mother of 3, and she's on trial for killing her 3 young children in 2023. She's from Massachusetts. She's 35. She's now paralyzed. As it goes, it's said that on the day of her allegedly killing her 3 children, she sent her husband out to run errands and get takeout, and whenever he left, she strangled her 3 children, ages 5, I want to get it right, 5, 3, and 8 months, and that she would then slit her wrist and neck and then jump out of her second story home. And in the process of doing this, she would leave herself paralyzed. Now, she's not paralyzed from the neck up. Apparently, she's paralyzed from the waist down. So she's on trial for, again, the murder of her 3 children. And right now, the prosecution, from what I'm reading, is that the prosecution and the defense both agree that she killed her 3 kids. But what they're trying to figure out was she in the right mental mind? Because they're trying to put it that she wasn't. She had postpartum, which, again, I'm a man. I can't say much about this because, again, I haven't experienced this. I haven't got a woman pregnant. Only people that have gotten people pregnant and seen the aftermath of it can speak about postpartum and all that type of stuff. But I'll wait to see how this thing ends. Again, the ex-husband, he went on trial. Well, not trial. He went on the stand. I believe they said Monday, and he's going to be on the stand Tuesday, which just happened. And I believe he could be on the stand again Wednesday. But again, this court case just happened. The trial just happened. And I'm going to keep my eye on this because I want to see what the ex-husband had to say about this. Because I'm pretty sure he has a strong pit in his stomach. Because you got to think, if you didn't leave to go and run those errands for her, pick up her medication, and pick out takeout, you would think in your head your babies would still be here. So I'm pretty sure he's probably been riddled with that for the last 3 years. But yeah, I'm going to look at this case and try to read up on it more. And hopefully by Sunday, I'll bring something back to you guys and give you guys updates on this. Also, the last thing that I do want to talk about in court is 2 things. One, David. The singer David, he can stand trial now. The judge has announced that David will be standing trial for the murder of Celeste Hernandez, the 14-year-old, might I say. Authorities have said that Celeste threatened to expose David and her relationship. That's what made David ultimately, allegedly, kill her. The judge was presented evidence during a preliminary hearing that provided probable cause for the trial of the charges of murder and continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14 and unlawful mutilation of human remains, which we all know about because they found Celeste's body in a car, decomposing and all just like cut up, like cut into pieces. So during this whole preliminary hearing, the prosecution had to show evidence, and what they showed was autopsy photos, text messages between David and her, and the last few texts she sent minutes before she died, and all that. Like I said, you can read up on that on your own. It's very, very nasty, very, very gruesome. But David, yeah, my boy, you're done. You're cooked. You're finished, my G. Only thing I'm gonna say is this: if they give you a plea deal, I'll say just take it. The judge and the judge has seen it. The people outside, whoever they're going to pick as the whole jury, they can read up on this and they'll know what's going to be presented towards the jury. I'll just say this right now to you. I know your lawyers are probably going to try their best, but take a plea deal. take a plea deal and just said you'll take life in prison without the possibility of parole. Just take that if that's what they're willing to give you. But dog, from what I'm reading, and dog, they got photos of you and her in bed together and talking text messages of her apparently being pregnant with your kid. Yo, game over. Game over. You're done. So David, he can stand trial for that. I want to make sure I get this right for the day of this. Right here. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? David, right here. An arraignment is to be held on August 31st, and a trial can happen as soon as 60 days later. So yeah, I don't think they're going to wait long for this. I think they're going to try to wrap this up pretty quickly. Once August 31st happens, they're going to try to get this out the way. But yeah, it's ball game. You're done, bro. So David, you're going to stand trial. It is what it is with that. And this is not technically court yet, but you can tell it's going to go to a trial. The Chiefs assistant coach, his son would shoot his mother. The mother is, from my understanding, she is recovering. No deaths to report there. She was taken to a hospital. She's in stable condition. That's what was reported Monday. So the assistant head coach, well, not assistant head coach, but the assistant coach of the Chiefs, I'm happy to say that. I'm happy to know about that. But my thing is, I don't understand the whole deal with the kids trying to shoot their parents. And the son was 27. The son was 27. He shot his mom. I want to know what was the motive for this. And again, it's all allegedly. They got to constantly say alleged with this. But the son, he's being charged with the shooting. He's been charged with malicious wounding, use of a firearm, and commission of a felony, and discharge of a firearm inside a dwelling. And he's being held without bond. So that's the only thing else to report about this. Again, I want to know what's the motive behind shooting your mom. But it seems that's kind of the thing now. Children or adults of children that are now adults are shooting their parents. That's very, very weird to me. But hey, it is what it is with that. Now, I know my time. I went over my time, but this is the last thing I have to talk about. Last thing, quick. Comic-Con happened this past week, and the big things that come out of Comic-Con this weekend was they have a new Black Panther. They found the guy who's going to be the son of Black Panther that they introduced in Black Panther 2. Is my guy that was in The Longest Walk, the black British dude in that. He's now going to be the son of T'Challa now. He's going to take up the mantle of Black Panther. I want to get his name because it's to be respected. Because again, he has been in other things too. He was in the other show that I watched on HBO. I can't remember that show right now because he was on there on the first season. But yeah, he's starting to build up a name for himself. David Ronson. Again, The Longest Walk. Apparently he was in Alien Romulus. As I said, he's going to play the son of T'Challa. He's going to be the next Black Panther. So congratulations to him for that. And Ryan Gosling. He's revealed to be the new Ghost Rider. That's supposed to be released in 2028. So Ryan Gosling is going to be Ghost Rider for that. Congratulations for him as well. Ryan Reynolds. He went to Comic-Con. He talked as a fan, to the cast of Avengers Doomsday in the gray Deadpool costume, which again, I didn't know the significance of that, but reading up on it, that's supposed to be the costume of X-Force Deadpool. So that could probably be an Easter egg of what's to come in the Marvel universe for Deadpool to make an X-Force movie, or to be a part of Doomsday, and he probably did that as an Easter egg for the people. Again, I don't know. But there's some things to come about from that. But those are the biggest thing that came out of it. I know DC, they played the trailer for Lanterns. That's probably the only other big thing that came out of that. And I know they showed other things supposed to come out from the DC, but Comic-Con was take up, at least on social media wise, was Marvel stuff. So that's the only thing that I do know. But yeah, that's all to technically talk about from Comic-Con this past week. So congratulations to all the people that read comics and all the Marvel and DC people out there. Congratulations to you guys. So that's something for you guys to look forward to there. I believe that's everything now. I went over my time, but yeah, I had to talk about that type of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But with that, this has been your Midweek Breakdown, presented by My 2 Cents Podcast. hosted by G2. I have been G2, and now it's time for me to move over to your song of the week. Song of the week for this week is by Sid featuring Big Sean. It's GMFU. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. Don't be a dick. Be kind of courteous to everyone you do come across. And I do have a Sunday episode up right now. It's called Return. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to that. And I will be dropping my weekend episodes to come. But you'll see it whenever you're subscribed. And also subscribe to the Apple Podcast show of this or whatever site of podcast you're listening to this podcast on. Subscribe to the podcast so you get the newest updates of episodes whenever I do drop. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Smoke too much, drink too much, think too much. Don't know what, no, what's up with this. But you got me fucked up. You was right there beside me, had my back from behind me. You driving, I'm riding. They wild and we fighting. Always know where to find me. Right here, I'm not hiding. Keep talking your shit, cause you can't do it like this, no. Come on now, don't do that. Don't make nothing of what we had. Had some good times, we had some bad. You don't look that cute when you mad. Pull us over before we crash. What you hiding behind that mask? All I wanted was to get this cash. That was always the plan. So fucking what? You know what's up. I've been with you from the jump. I showed you love. Only wanna call you bluff. Quit acting tough. We supposed to run it up, but there's no more us. No more us. Got me smoking too much, drinking too much, thinking too much. Cause I don't know what, no, what's up with this. But you got me fucked up. Got me fucked up. Why you got my number blocked? Why you can just be upfront? Why am I so in shock? Shit really got me stuck. Don't wanna believe it's done, but I already know you are. And although I'm above it, wanna tell you I love you.
Look, I hate to see you in myself. I hate to see myself in you. So pointing the finger be pointless. Like who really convincing who? I wrote about this on my album, but I should've just sent it to you. Projecting instead of realizing that you my reflection, I'm not seeing through. It's too late to be starting over, but baby, I'm down for another new era. Fly private like this shit a jet, too holiday, nobody beat this shit better. You used to be head over heels with your head above clouds, now we under the weather. It's sick when the same one that's breaking your heart is the same one that puts it together. It feels like broken lies all bruise the truth. You wish that I would do the work and show and prove. It must be something that I did or didn't do. It's like I'm trying to win or lose. We stuck inside a loop and hoping that we get to somewhere new. Confused and feel abused cause all the rumors, lies we once denied are coming true. I hate to be stuck at the crossroads. I might take a new path and go off-road. When I'm gone you still look for attachment, so sometimes you go back and you hard those. You try and be mindful, it's hard though, cause the mind doesn't know what the heart knows. Real love hit like a drug, so you can always tell when we off those. And we
smoke too much, drink too much, think too much. Don't know what, no, what's up with us. But you got me fucked up.